Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, General Hospital Diaries. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. General Hospital spoilers tease that Sonny Corinthos will uncover a major secret about Marco Rios, while Jason Morgan takes the lead on a tough round of questioning. Meanwhile, Drew Kane will set his next strategy in motion, making for a can't-miss episode packed with drama. At Elizabeth Baldwin's place, Lucky Spencer will crack a few lighthearted jokes, claiming everything that's happened was part of his grand master plan. Despite his humor, Liz truly has reason to be thankful for Lucky's return. He'll prove he's serious about being there for her, especially by stepping up to help around the house and easing some of the burden that's fallen on the ever-determined nurse Amy Driscoll. Over with Jordan Ashford, she'll have a serious conversation with Anna Devane, admitting that turning a blind eye just isn't something she can do anymore. Jordan will press forward with her risky plan involving Jen Sidwell, but Curtis Ashford will grow increasingly concerned. He may voice a grim prediction about where her actions could lead if she's not careful. Meanwhile, Sidwell will manage to grab Tracy Quartermain's attention by highlighting their apparent similarities. Though intrigued, Tracy won't ignore the red flags. Given Sidwell's checkered past and questionable ties in Port Charles, she'll tread cautiously no matter how charming he tries to be. Elsewhere in Port Charles, Drew will map out a brand new scheme, one that could stir up even more tension and land him some fresh adversaries. The question is, who's next on his list? Back at Sonny Corinthos' place, he'll deliver a bombshell by revealing that Marco is actually Sidwell's son. This stunning revelation will leave Diane Miller ready to cut ties immediately. But Sonny may urge a different approach. Instead of letting Marco go, Sonny might suggest Diane keep him around at the law office. That way, they can keep a closer eye on him and potentially gather intel linking him back to Sidwell. In the meantime, Jason could drop by for a pointed conversation with Marco, raising suspicions and tensions at the law office. Lucas Jones will catch wind of the uneasy atmosphere, possibly stumbling upon Jason's intense exchange with Marco. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Carly Spencer may have a surprising 5-word response to Jason Morgan and Sasha Gilmore Corbin's hidden truth. Let's dive into how Michael Corinthos' mother might respond to the big paternity reveal. GH viewers know that Jason has chosen to keep Carly in the dark about Michael being the biological father of Sasha's baby. Jason worries about Carly's ability to stay quiet and knows she'll feel an emotional pull toward her grandchild if she learns the truth. Still, secrets have a way of coming out in Port Charles, so it's only a matter of time before Carly learns the real story. Given that, it's worth considering how Carly might react once everything is exposed. Carly might surprise Jason by truly grasping the weight of the situation. She could even express appreciation for what Sasha and Jason are trying to protect and preserve here. Considering Carly is already concerned about Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos being in Willow Corinthos and Drew Kane's care, she likely won't want to stir up more chaos. This becomes even more relevant now that Willow has signed documents naming Drew as the legal guardian of her children, should anything happen to her. Jack Brennan warned that Drew might take a step too far, and having Willow sign those papers might already qualify as that move. Although Michael is on the road to recovery, Willow's decision to name Drew as guardian raises serious questions, especially considering their complicated past. This choice may not stand unchallenged in court and could create unexpected consequences. Carly might view this development as an opportunity to highlight how much influence Drew seems to have over Willow, potentially helping her if any custody issues arise down the line. Still, Carly's potential advantage could be lost if Sasha's baby secret is exposed. Michael needs to appear stable and trustworthy, but public knowledge of his connection to Sasha could shift that perception, especially given his current marriage to Willow. That's why Carly may ultimately respond to Jason and Sasha's decision with these 5 words. This is for the best. Carly might urge them to stay the course, knowing they're trying to protect what matters most, Michael's standing and rights when it comes to Wiley and Amelia. General Hospital spoilers suggest the paternity truth will come out eventually. General Hospital reveals that Ava Jerome received Alexis Davis' first payment and made it clear she also crossed paths with Professor Henry Dalton. So here's how everything unfolded on Tuesday's episode. Near the Quartermaine boathouse, Brooke Lynn Quartermaine found Giovanni Gio Palmieri practicing his violin. After Brooke Lynn made a pitch for Gio to perform at the nurses' ball, he eventually agreed to the idea. Later, Lois Cirillo had a heart-to-heart with Harrison Chase regarding the adoption secret they were both keeping. Afterward, she connected with Gio and got the scoop on Brooke Lynn producing his nurses' ball performance. Lois was pleased to hear that Brooke Lynn and Gio were working together. Gio reflected on something his mother used to say, that great artists are often born from great collaborations. Back with Chase, Brooke Lynn managed to rope him into performing at the nurses' ball too. Chase playfully hinted that he might need a little incentive, like help getting in and out of the wardrobe. As Brooke Lynn and Chase shared a kiss, Rick Lansing spoke to Ava over the phone while she waited at the gallery for Alexis to arrive. Meanwhile, Dante Falconeri popped up in Rick's hospital room, so Rick quickly pivoted to a conversation with law enforcement. Kristina Corinthos Davis arrived with Molly Lansing Davis and grew uneasy when she noticed Dante's presence. Once Kristina stepped out with Dante, she asked why a detective would be investigating a car accident. Dante explained that he was actually visiting Rick on a personal note to wish him well, though Kristina remained tense. Meanwhile, Eva chatted with Trina Robinson, who was concerned about Kai Taylor going through with a risky surgery. Ava gently reminded her that Kai had to make his own medical choices. Later on, Trina worked to mask her fears and reassured Kai that she had his back. Kai appreciated her support and optimistically predicted he'd be back on the football field before long. Although Diane Miller attempted to convince Alexis to move forward with having Kristina temporarily committed, Alexis ultimately couldn't bring herself to do it. Instead, she said she'd handle things her own way and headed to the gallery. Ava got encouraging news when Alexis confirmed that money from the Cassadine estate had been wired to a Swiss bank account, with plans to repay Ava's divorce settlement in installments. The first installment arrived soon after, and Alexis assured her the full amount would be paid by July. Still, Ava wasn't satisfied. She said the stakes had gone up. Since the settlement was rightfully hers, she now wanted additional compensation on top of it. If Alexis hoped to protect Kristina, Ava made it clear that the payments had to continue. Ava later texted Rick with a string of dollar signs to let him know the deal was officially in motion. Elsewhere, Lucky Spencer brought Elizabeth Baldwin home following her hospital release. Laura Collins, Lulu Spencer, and Aidan Weber were all there to celebrate Liz's return. Nurse Amy Driscoll arrived for duty and quickly began taking charge, insisting that Liz needed rest and care. Although Amy claimed she'd be helpful during Elizabeth's recovery, it soon became obvious that her overbearing style might be more hassle than help. Lulu later pulled Lucky aside and encouraged him to step up and take the lead in looking after Liz. At the Surf Lodge, Jocelyn caught up with Emma Scorpio Drake before and after their environmental physics class. Jocelyn pointed out that Emma had impressed their professor with a sharp answer earlier, and sure enough, Professor Dalton appeared and confirmed he'd been impressed. Jocelyn introduced herself, but Professor Dalton expressed doubt that she could keep pace after joining the class so late. He continued to focus his attention on Emma, encouraging her to apply for the role of his summer research assistant. After Professor Dalton left, Jocelyn pressed Emma for more details about the assistant position. Once Emma departed, Jocelyn looked clearly frustrated, especially now that Emma seemed eager to land the opportunity herself. Meanwhile, Jocelyn Jax's college experience took an intriguing turn with a chance encounter with Professor Dalton, potentially leading to new challenges and revelations. Here's a detailed recap of the day's events at General Hospital. The episode centered significantly around the uneasy alliance between Ava Jerome and Alexis Davis, a partnership born out of secrets and leverage. Ava, ever the opportunist, has been using her knowledge of Alexis's dark secret, the truth about her involvement in Neil Burns' overdose, to extort money from the former lawyer. The tension was palpable as Alexis, visibly stressed and burdened by guilt, delivered the first installment of Ava's demanded payment. The scene took place in Alexis's newly renovated apartment, a stark contrast to her recent struggles with alcoholism and unemployment. Meant to symbolize a fresh start, ironically became the backdrop for her continued descent into ethical compromise. Alexis's internal conflict was evident in her conversation with her daughter, Sam McCall. While she carefully avoided revealing the specifics of her financial woes, Sam sensed something was amiss. Alexis, grappling with the weight of her actions, struggled to maintain a facade of normalcy, further isolating herself from those she cares about. The dynamic between Ava and Alexis remains a captivating study in manipulation and desperation. While Alexis initially agreed to the arrangement to protect her secret and prevent further damage to her already tarnished reputation, she is now realizing the true cost of her silence. The constant threat of exposure, coupled with the financial strain, is taking a heavy toll on her mental and emotional well-being. Ava, on the other hand, relishes her position of power. She revels in Alexis's discomfort and seems determined to squeeze every last drop of leverage from the situation. However, Ava's arrogance might prove to be her undoing. Overconfidence has often led to her downfall in the past, and underestimating Alexis's resourcefulness could prove to be a fatal mistake. The episode concluded with Ava subtly hinting that the initial payment was merely a down payment, implying that her demands would continue indefinitely. The realization dawned on Alexis that she was trapped in a cycle of extortion with no easy way out. This sets the stage for a potentially explosive confrontation between the two women as Alexis struggles to find a way to break free from Ava's control without revealing the devastating truth about Neil's death. Meanwhile, at Port Charles University, Jocelyn Jax had a chance encounter with Professor Dalton, an enigmatic and seemingly brilliant academic who instantly piqued her interest. The meeting was brief but impactful, leaving Jocelyn intrigued by his unconventional teaching methods and thought-provoking perspectives. Jocelyn, still reeling from the emotional fallout of her relationship with Cameron Weber and her mother Carly Corinthos' recent turmoil, has been seeking a sense of direction and purpose. College offers her a fresh start, an opportunity to explore her interests and forge her own path. Professor Dalton's presence seems to be a catalyst for this journey. Their initial interaction took place in the university library. Jocelyn, diligently researching a project, found herself drawn to Professor Dalton's animated discussion with a group of students. His passionate delivery and unorthodox views on literature sparked her curiosity, leading her to approach him after the group dispersed. The conversation was intellectually stimulating, with Professor Dalton challenging Jocelyn's preconceived notions about classic literature and encouraging her to look beyond the surface. He urged her to consider the context of the works and the underlying themes that resonate even in modern society. Jocelyn, accustomed to a more conventional approach to learning, found herself captivated by his unique perspective. The introduction of Professor Dalton adds a new dimension to Jocelyn's storyline. He represents intellectual stimulation and a departure from the emotional dramas that have dominated her life. Thus far, speculation abounds among viewers regarding Professor Dalton's potential role in Jocelyn's future. Some believe he could become a mentor figure, guiding her through her academic pursuits and helping her to develop her intellectual curiosity. Others suspect he may have a hidden agenda, potentially involving dangerous secrets or even romantic complications. Regardless of his true intentions, Professor Dalton's presence has undoubtedly shaken things up for Jocelyn. He has opened her eyes to new possibilities and challenged her to think critically about the world around her. This encounter could mark a turning point in her life, leading her down a path of intellectual discovery and personal growth. Continued to navigate the complexities of co-parenting with Willow Tate, particularly in the wake of Nina Reeves's bombshell revelation about Wiley's true parentage. The tension between them remained palpable as they struggled to put their son's needs first. Continued to grapple with the ethical implications of her past actions, feeling increasingly burdened by the secret she is keeping from Wiley. Her internal conflict is intensifying, raising questions about how long she can keep the truth concealed. Remained determined to forge a relationship with Wiley, despite the animosity she faces from Michael and the Corinthos family. Her attempts at reconciliation were met with resistance, highlighting the deep-seated wounds that still linger from her past transgressions. Sonny Corinthos continued to deal with the fallout from his amnesia and his life in spoilers suggest that tensions between Jocelyn and Emma could rise again soon. General Hospital spoilers reveal that the police will have questions regarding a recent car accident, while Alexis Davis gets hit with some infuriating news. In addition, Rick Lansing will find himself in a tricky situation involving Molly Lansing Davis. So here's a look at what fans can expect on the ABC soap. To kick things off, Ava Jerome will taunt Alexis as she raises the cost of keeping Kristina Corinthos Davis out of trouble. Although Ava wants to make sure there's enough money to go around, especially since she's now sharing with Rick, she might want to watch her step, or she could push Alexis past her limit. That's particularly important considering Alexis has already been contemplating another method to protect Kristina from legal consequences. Alexis previously hesitated to have Kristina admitted to a mental health facility after witnessing a moment of connection between her and Molly. However, Diane Miller will continue to push her plan on Tuesday's episode and argue that it's the best course of action. In Diane's opinion, securing Kristina's future might depend on placing her in professional care, even if it's only temporary. As Alexis grapples with her next move, Molly will stop by the hospital for another visit with Rick. This will leave Rick in an awkward position since he's still not being honest with Molly about the real reason behind the crash. Molly will comment that it'd be nice if something positive could come from the situation. With Molly and Kristina working on rebuilding their sisterly bond, she'll continue to look for silver linings. Meanwhile, Kristina will feel uneasy when she runs into Dante Falconeri and realizes the police are still investigating the crash details. Kristina will try to stay composed while subtly asking Dante questions, but could her nerves tip him off? Elsewhere, Kai Taylor will bring Trina Robinson up to speed on his recent conversation with Portia Robinson, which may include the news that Trina's mom couldn't endorse the advanced medical procedure. Despite Portia's reservations, Kai will still move forward with the surgery, leaving Trina even more anxious about what could happen. Kai will look to Trina for emotional support, but she'll make another worried prediction and ultimately turn to Ava for some much-needed advice. Over at Elizabeth Baldwin's place, a special homecoming celebration will be waiting for her once she's discharged from GH. Laura Collins, Lulu Spencer, and Aidan Weber will all be part of the surprise event. Naturally, Lucky Spencer will help make it a smooth transition by wheeling Elizabeth in and ensuring she's comfortable for the festivities. Elizabeth will need extra support during her recovery, so Lucky will stay committed to being by her side. In another storyline, Brooklyn Quartermain will make a bold proposal, one that someone else will quickly turn down. It's possible Harrison Chase won't be on board with Brooklyn's idea and might choose to follow his own plan after a private chat with Lois Cirillo in today's episode. The accident, which occurred late Monday evening on the outskirts of Port Charles, has left one officer in critical condition and the other with serious injuries. While police officials have released limited information, citing an ongoing investigation, rumors and speculation are swirling about the cause of the crash and whether any foul play was involved. We are deeply saddened by this tragic incident, and our thoughts are with the officers and their families during this difficult time, stated Police Commissioner Anna Devane in a brief press conference held this morning. A thorough investigation is underway to determine the exact cause of the accident. We will release more information as it becomes available. However, the Commissioner's vague statement has done little to quell the rising tide of concern. Unconfirmed reports suggest that the officers were responding to a call regarding suspicious activity in the area, possibly involving a known organized crime element. Some sources allege that the officer's vehicle may have been deliberately forced off the road, while others speculate that mechanical failure or driver error could be to blame. Adding fuel to the fire is the fact that the officers involved were reportedly investigating a series of unsolved robberies targeting local businesses. Sources close to the investigation have indicated that they were close to cracking the case, leading some to believe that the crash may have been an attempt to silence them. The possibility of internal corruption within the police department is also being whispered, with some speculating that the officers may have stumbled upon something they weren't supposed to see. These rumors, while unsubstantiated, are further eroding public trust. The complex web of intrigue is the involvement of private investigator Damian Spinelli, who has been unofficially assisting the police department in their investigation of the robberies. Spinelli, known for his unorthodox methods and technological expertise, has been tight-lipped about the details of his involvement, but sources say he has been actively gathering evidence and pursuing leads that the police may have overlooked. The ongoing investigation is expected to be lengthy and complex, with investigators meticulously examining the scene of the crash, analyzing forensic evidence, and interviewing witnesses. The results of the investigation could have far-reaching consequences, not only for the police department but also for the entire Port Charles community. Meanwhile, Rick Lansing's troubles are escalating as he finds himself increasingly isolated and under suspicion. His involvement in a series of shady dealings, coupled with his volatile relationship with various individuals in Port Charles, has made him a prime target for both law enforcement and his enemies. Rick's current predicament stems from his association with a notorious underworld figure who is allegedly involved in a number of illegal activities. While Rick has maintained his innocence, claiming that he was simply trying to protect his loved ones, evidence suggests that he was more deeply involved than he admits. The discovery of incriminating evidence linking Rick to the criminal organization has led to a warrant being issued for his arrest. However, Rick has managed to evade capture, disappearing from his usual haunts and leaving investigators scrambling to track him down. Rumors are circulating that Rick has fled the country, seeking refuge in a foreign land where he can escape prosecution. However, other sources suggest that he is still hiding in Port Charles, desperately trying to clear his name and protect his family. His estranged wife, Elizabeth Weber, has publicly denounced Rick's actions, expressing her disappointment and condemning his choices. Despite their strained relationship, Elizabeth has reportedly been cooperating with the police, providing them with information that may help in their investigation. Rick's brother, Sonny Corinthos, a powerful figure in the Port Charles underworld, has remained conspicuously silent on the matter. While Sonny is known to fiercely protect his family, his past dealings with Rick have been fraught with tension and betrayal. It remains to be seen whether Sonny will come to Rick's aid or allow him to face the consequences of his actions alone. The ongoing saga surrounding Rick Lansing has captivated the attention of Port Charles residents, who are eager to see justice served. Whether Rick is ultimately proven innocent or guilty remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: his life will never be the same. The combined impact of the police car crash and Rick Lansing's legal troubles is having a significant effect on the Port Charles community. The uncertainty surrounding the police investigation is fueling anxiety and fear, while Rick's potential involvement in criminal activities is undermining public trust in the justice system. The fear of crime and the uncertainty surrounding the future are causing people to stay home and avoid public places. The mayor of Port Charles, Laura Collins, has issued a statement calling for calm and urging residents to remain vigilant. She has also pledged to provide additional resources to the police department to help them solve the ongoing mysteries and restore order to the community. According to General Hospital spoilers, Lois will continue to feel the pressure over her hidden truth involving Giovanni Gio Palmieri, but she'll do everything in her power to keep that part of the adoption story out of the spotlight. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.